into your own hands and arbitrarily deciding that, you know what, I'm going to lock her out of the house. Because if you do that, then she can go to court and say, I don't have no place to live, I haven't done anything, he locked me out of my house, not only do I not have a place to live, but I don't have any clothes, I don't have any money, and then now you're getting motions filed with the court, and you're spending time and money in court when this could have been avoided. So if you have an attorney and she has an attorney, the best bet really is just to have the two attorneys contact one another and try to amicably set up some type of interim peaceful resolution so you can move forward with the actual dissolution process.
Okay. So what you want to do is you want to, as quickly as possible, get this in front of a judge, get an attorney's advice on this, get it all above board, get the separation right there written down nice and neat, and that way if you have worries that perhaps she's going to take some items or in some way maybe try to sabotage something, by getting it in front of a judge and by talking to your attorneys first and getting them involved, you can at least keep it all above board, and then it doesn't look like people are playing games, and you can get the protection that you want of maybe your assets or whatever, and yet you can still stay in a good light with the court. Is that correct?
Right. Now, just kind of touching base on what I mentioned a few minutes ago, is if you do feel that you're in harm's way or that your wife is going to cause some type of danger to you, then your remedy to the court would be to file what's called an adult abuse or an order of protection. And then you go to the courthouse in which you're going to file your dissolution in. You can fill out the paperwork with the clerk, allege that you fear for your safety and that you believe that harm is imminent to you from your wife. Then you can have her served with that, and then she'll be removed by the police department from the residence, and then a hearing will be set. Okay. So that's another option that you can do as well if you feel that your wife is going to harm you in some way. Okay.
And we could probably do a whole nother show on the topic of you know, if it comes down to moving out and getting your things together and the things that you're going to need and getting all those things in order. But like I said, we can probably save that for another show.
But it's important that we address it because that's usually the first trigger in the dissolution process or the legal separation process. Okay. So I mean, it's good that we have spent some time on it because some people are put in that unfortunate position where they come home and, well, now they have no place to go, and they're kind of torn between how do I get access to the house? What is my next step? I have all my things in there, so you know it's informative that if this situation does arise, that you take what we have discussed, and I guess really the big picture would be consult your attorney on what to do and what not to do, because you know, as we talked about, you really don't want to position yourself to the court where you're losing credibility, because you want to position yourself with the court in the best light possible. So.
You know, I was going to jump to a completely different topic, but you made me think of something else too that I see on the website a lot, and maybe we could address this because I don't know if I've ever seen this really directly addressed in an Ask a Lawyer segment. But what about the question of the man moving out of the house voluntarily and sort of, you know, maybe this comes from, you know, maybe it has its roots in being a good guy or being, you know, or in chivalry or something, but I see a lot on the website guys saying, well, we decided we're going to get a divorce, we're going to separate, I'm going to move out of the house because it'll be easier for her and it'll be easier for the kids. Does that right away put up any red flags to you?
No, and actually a lot of times it's advisable for one party to move out of the house if it can be afforded financially. Sometimes people are put in positions where without the dual incomes, the other person wouldn't be able to move out right away. Because if you're moving out, you're going to have the mortgage payment or the rent payment and then another mortgage or rent payment. So you're really going to be supporting two households off an income to where you really were just supporting one. So that's one factor to take into consideration. Another factor, though, is what you said, which is a really good point, is that's not going to send up any red flags, because you don't want to put yourself, your wife, or your children, if there's kids involved, in any type of precarious situation. You want to do what's in the best interest of the family, what is in the best interest of your children, and that is to remove yourself from the house so that it doesn't make it a hostile environment. Then that's going to look good for you because you're taking care of your family.